Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love. American made.
Listen up. Auto Thoughts and Decepticlowns, you're listening to Prime Cuts, a nonlinear history of the Transformers podcast on television. I'm one of your hosts, Mara.
I'm your other host, Audrey. One of these episodes was okay.
The other one was almost incomprehensible.
Yeah. Really, really challenging.
Like, probably about as bad as the fucking Skylink's Dead Universe episode. Maybe worse, honestly. I don't know. I felt like I had a better grasp of what was going on in that episode than I did in episode 4.
That might be true.
But before we get to all of that, we do have an episode that mostly is pretty good in episode 3 of Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom.
We have an episode that actually might be the most I've enjoyed watching this series.
And there's a little secret about why that is, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
It's not that much of a secret.
No, I guess if you're listening to this, you already watched it. The secret is that they just basically put a bunch of stuff from the Season 2 Beast Wars episode Code of Hero into it. And that episode is really good. So by transitive properties, this one also ended up okay. Not as good as Code of Hero, very importantly, because this show is still very bad. But it's the most competent it's been in a while.
And possibly ever.
Anyway, we get a cold open about the Allspark landing on Earth and doing a bunch of like weird stuff. And then we cut to the present where we're basically following 3 groups throughout this episode as they go through the fucking Allspark illusion forest. We have Megatron and Soundwave. We have Team Traitor, which is Starscream, Black Arachne, and Dinobot. And then we have all of the Autobots and the Maximals, and they're all just kind of wandering around.
Except for Airazor, who's flying over the forest. But hey, why the fuck is she in root mode?
I am so glad you brought that up. Airazor famously turns into a creature that it's very good at flying naturally.
And she was in her alt mode in the sky all last episode.
Yeah,
like the first 2 episodes, which makes sense. She's
just flying around with like Iron Man jets, basically, which is really...
It's so goofy.
Deeply confusing.
So for some reason, the bird, is in root mode, flying through open air, but the guys who turn into cars are driving in their alt modes through, like, covered jungle.
Some real Transformers Energon style business going on here.
Like, why this make sense?
Why? So the cars are driving in space, but the person who turns into a plane is just kind of floating around. Gotcha. Okay.
Optimus and RC and who else is with them? Primal. It's the 3 of them, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So the 3 of them were like trying to fly in the Ark? No, they weren't in the Ark. They were flying in something.
Yeah, they were in like a shuttle. Basically, like, they got knocked out of the sky, and also Megatron and Soundwave fell out of the sky.
Starscream fell out of the sky.
Yeah, he can't, because like I guess the Ark is just putting up like a fucking no-fly zone. Yeah, no fly zone. Airazor will also fall out of the sky, don't worry. Anyway, the 3 of them can't get any further in this shuttle. And so Optimus, like, messages back to the Ark, and he's like, Bumblebee, how's the repairs going on the Ark? And Bumblebee goes, and he's like, cool, so just so you know, if I die, you need to lead the Autobots. You have known this little yellow bitch
for
what? 2 fucking months.
You are literally in front of RC?
In front of RC, in front of Prowl, in front of literally everyone else you've been with the whole time. No,
but like saying this in front of RC, I'm saying, like, can you imagine? Like, the Autobots have been fighting a losing war for years. They've watched their comrades die, their numbers dwindle, and then Optimus is like, you there, the contractor.
The contractor who just got hired onto a permanent position literally last week.
Yeah, you're gonna need to lead the Autobots.
And
What?
Bumblebee goes, okay, I guess. Utterly fucking deranged. Why is it Bumblebee that's next in? I mean, I guess Elita is dead. Probably. Maybe.
Kinda. Who knows?
Who knows?
He has psychic sex with her next episode,
That's
so...
true. But who knows if that was Alita, or if it was the Allspark, or if it was both. Everything's all fucked. Anyway, we finally get Optimus talking about pre-war Cybertron. It's the most generic shit you could imagine. It's like, well, it was a golden age, but it wasn't perfect, but we were trying. But then Megatron blew it up. Great.
And then you took the Allspark away.
Then you shot the
Remember that
Allspark
part
into
of it?
space. Yeah, you made it worse. Because like, oh, so this is the vision of the beautiful past that he's been fighting for this whole second. Well, it was okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is where the Allspark hallucinations start. I don't really know why Megatron has zombie hallucinations here. He never saw those guys. But he does have zombie hallucinations here.
I mean, it's obviously like Necroplanet reference of him like being haunted by all the people he's responsible for killing, but also just like not done well.
Galvatron is also in there somewhere. He's like, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
What's really funny about it is like all the pacing is like supposed to be like a jump scare in like a horror movie, but it just falls so flat.
Yeah. Because then he
that's a really funny thing.
He comes out of it and Sandra's like, hey man, are you good? And he goes, no. I hate it out here. Oh, he does. What does he say?
He does the opposite. He goes, yes, and don't you ever question whether I'm good or not again.
Right. He's also talking about like the golden disc is like he's frustrated because it's not like perfect information or whatever. I think it's the next scene there, but it's at the next scene. But I love the part where he starts like tweaking out on MacGuffinitis, where he's just like, oh fuck, ooh, if I had the golden disc and the Allspark and the Matrix, oh my god, I would be so powerful, ooh. And so I know he's just standing there watching, like, oh, he's losing it.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here.
By the way, can I just remind everyone that every time I see this version of Ravage, I want to die.
Also, like, we've talked about this before, but it is particularly bad in this episode. Cool voice you have there, Soundwave. Would be a real shame if anyone could understand it.
Yeah, it's so tinny. I don't understand.
Here's the thing, because it's the only voice that isn't in a lower register than it should be in this fucking show. It is so heavily modulated to the point that it is unintelligible at times. Also, I do want to mention before we move past it too quickly, is that our scene Black Arachnia should let out.
So the next scene here. So we cut back to Team Trader, where Dinobot and Starscream are having a debate over who has the shittier Megatron, I guess. They're like, yeah, well, Megatron stole the golden disc. Yeah, well, my Megatron stole the Matrix. And it's like,
well, it's
great.
more like it's like my Megatron worships yours, and Starscream's like, yeah, because he's an idiot.
Yeah, because that guy's stupid as fuck. Have you heard
met
his
that
voice?
guy?
Yeah, he sucks ass. Big purple dinosaur idiot. And then
why do you even listen to him?
They see the Autobots making their way through the forest, and in a voice I can only describe as dripping with lust, Black Arachnia goes, the pink one is cute, when she sees RC.
This has to be because of TFP, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's the only other time any RC has interacted with a Black Arachnia adjacent character, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Arachnid is Black Arachnia in Prime, let's be real.
For sure. Just like a real quick hit of like, okay.
Yeah, it's so weird.
We're okay. We're like, all right, then we're introducing this in episode 3.
And then it's like
followed
never brought
on.
up again.
No, I just like to imagine that just like, yeah, like neither of them, like Dinobot and Starscream don't say anything.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, let's out.
Cool. Hey, you know what? They're allies. Good for them. This is when we get
Love is love. I see no difference.
That's right. That's Dinobot's fucking. Now we get
Love
to
is
the
love.
hallucinations.
Dinobot giving the one claw thumbs up.
Yeah.
Love is love. I see no difference. Yeah.
So,
now we get into hallucinations.
Optimus sees Alpha Trion. My favorite. Okay, so there's a couple of really, really good ones here. So number one. Sideswipe goes, Sunstreaker, there you are, just off screen. He does not. We do not see him. He doesn't have a character model, but he's there. He's just over there.
He's right over there. He's painting a portrait as we speak.
He's waving at us. I love being in the Allspark forest with my alive brother who's just off screen.
Spark of my spark.
Then, thank God, he's back. RC sees Cog!
And the crowd goes wild.
So apparently he did die, and this is what I saw him show up for in Kingdom. It's so funny. Incredible.
Honestly, thank God. Can you imagine if he somehow showed up in the last 2 episodes?
Look, I mean, there's still time, I guess.
There's still time,
he's
baby.
coming down to save the world. But yeah, Cog is RC's like big regret. Cog. And then we get the best one.
I can only hope to go through life with such minimal regrets.
That's right. The best one is when Starscream starts hallucinating the crown. And we cut out because he's like, ooh, yay, I'm the king of the Decepticons. And we cut away from his like hallucinatory landscape, and it's just Black Arachne and Dinobot staring at him while he like puts on an invisible hat and goes like, hee hee hee.
They're like, is he good? And then like Black Arachne is like, clearly no, but whatever.
And then something really weird happens.
Yeah, and Dinobot's like, cool ally you found here.
Yeah, so he's like, yeah, great. You found a plane that's going fucking senile. Then Black Arachnia says, oh my god, do you hear wolves? And Dinobot's like, what? Okay, so we get... Is this supposed to be a Silverbolt reference?
I thought so.
Because it's a green-eyed wolf.
It's a green-eyed bull, and I thought I saw the outline of wings.
Like, what? But they were that like their love interests in the original show. So why is she like, oh my god, he's hunting me? I was
he's hunting her. Oh my god! Oh my god! Do you hear that?
And then Dinobot literally just slaps them both. I was like, knock it off!
I hope no one comes out of the fog and comes fucks me. Comes out of the ominous fog and comes fucks me.
Thank you for reminding me of that beautiful TikTok. Oh, anyway, Starscream gets really mad at Dinobot for taking him away from his beautiful dream of having a cool hat. And tosses him off the cliff.
But, like, very nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Which is, like, really funny. Like,
Actually,
Dinobot is again to, like, a Black Arachne is like, this is the ally you're gonna, like, be with? And she's like, I don't know, what are you gonna do about it?
He actually doesn't throw him off the cliff. I just remembered he drops him.
He drops him because Dinobot claws his face, and so he just
like,
lets him go.
Owie! Stop! There's also, like... Starscream mentions like I have fucking put up with millions of years of abuse and humiliation. It's like, but have you? Definitely not from Megatron.
No, but from Jetfire.
God.
Remember that?
Yeah, I forgot that they had like
Remember Jetfire?
Well, thank God.
Try not to.
Thank God he's dead. He doesn't show up here. But then, like,
Why does
Airazor-
Jetfire, the larger of the starving Autobots, simply not eat all of the other Autobots?
That's actually what's been going on.
Yeah.
So he's the only one
That's
left.
why
He's
Alita.
been-
That's why Alita can only meet Optimus in the Mindscape to fuck
yeah,
him.
because he's Jetfire's been eating everybody else. So Airazor at this point has fallen out of the sky like twice, and then she meets Dinobot and they have like a conversation about the Primes, and it's like, I heard they were great, like warrior sages with so much wisdom and strength.
It's really weird because it feels like they're trying to shoehorn romance in
Which
here.
is once again completely baffling. These two characters, literally, Tigatron was in the show last episode. He has vanished. I don't know where he is.
No, that's not true. You do actually see him on the bridge of the Ark.
Oh,
He's there by Bumblebee. He's on the Ark.
And this is the part where I wrote that Megatron is tweaking out on MacGuffins. He's literally like swaying and mumbling to himself like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get all three of the MacGuffins. Is gonna be so fucking good, dude. Oh my god.
Nummy, nummy, nummy.
And that's when Soundwave hears something, because Dinobot has decided he is going to take the Matrix back from Megatron no matter the cost. And then he kills Soundwave. I can only assume he's dead, because he doesn't show up in episode 4.
Almost definitely.
Dinobot just stabs Soundwave once in the chest.
I mean,
him.
okay. To be fair to this scene, this one I actually didn't mind so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like a kind of ignoble death for Soundwave, but it's not like it's anything that he fucked up, basically, that
That's
led
true.
to it. It's that the Allspark is glitching things out of existence.
Yeah, I guess one thing we forgot to mention, even beyond all of the weird illusions, the forest itself is also like
glitching out of existence.
It's like infected with the Allspark, I guess. Like trees keep disappearing and stuff. But yeah, he gets stabbed.
So yeah, what happens is like Soundwave gets caught up in one of these glitches, and while he's unstable, Dinobot like kills him. So like I don't mind this one so much.
It's also not like this Soundwave has done anything at all.
Yeah, the Soundwave is useless. So
the Soundwave is not cool. But before Dinobot can make the killing blow on Megatron, Beast Megatron shows up to bite Dinobot's arm off. And
they wanted this fight between Dinobot and Megatron to look so cool.
It doesn't. It looks very bad.
It looks very bad, but they do the whole anime like sword slash
God, they do
thing, which makes me so mad.
No, he and G1 Megatron do that. They do the samurai movie thing because they have a sword fight with G1 Megatron's iconic sword. Everyone remembers his iconic sword.
Yeah, but I thought that was before Empred bites his arm off.
Because then that's when Soundwave. So you kill Soundwave, and then Beast Megatron.
Yeah, you were skipping.
Up. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and then Megatron is about to execute Dinobot, but Dinobot has one more trick that he hasn't used in the show, which is his famous laser eyes. So he blows up Megatron and steals the Matrix.
And runs hobbling off, dying into the woods.
Yeah, he is dying, and this is where we get our big dramatic Dinobot death scene. I'm not going to talk on. We're going to cover Beast Wars eventually, Beast Wars Season 2 eventually. So I'm not going to talk about Code of Hero yet, but I'll just say that this episode leans very heavily on its existence to get any pathos out of this moment, because this Dinobot is not that Dinobot. But there's a lot of like, damn, you could have been a Maximal, bro.
Yeah. To be fair as well, this Dinobot's actor is probably one of the better in the show at this point.
Oh, easily.
By
a
wide mile, I would say.
He is trying so much harder than everybody else, basically.
Yeah.
It's like him and Alita are sort of carrying everything at this point.
So, and Alita's dead.
Sort of.
And Allspark Alita is not acting very well.
No, she's in her
flop era.
ethereal spiritual being era, so everything takes 5 fucking years to say.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it's her fault. I think it's the direction she's getting,
Yeah.
but it's so again, while this Dinobot doesn't have the pathos and, you know, the compelling nature of Beast Wars, in comparison to the shit that he's surrounded by, it is an unbelievably compelling character.
Yeah, like, as it turns out, sort of speed running original Dinobot's character arc does still result in a fairly compelling character, even if it's nowhere near as good.
Particularly if there's no one else there to fill that role.
Yeah, I really groaned when they did the, like, what's Choppa Face doing here? And he's like, saving vermin like you. It's like, you don't get to do that. They don't have a pre-existing relationship, you dipshits.
Oh, yeah. Also, Rat Trap sounds like himself again now, I guess.
The voice actor watched a clip and he goes, oh, that's what he sounds like.
Oh, a bodega owner. Okay, sure. I gotcha.
Yeah, and there's a good line about, like, if I defected in Primal, would you have accepted me? It's like, in a heartbeat, but you would have been a terrible Maximal.
Maybe so.
And then he dies. Yeah,
Love.
and then they look over. They look over to the. They look over to the side, and there's a big Allspark temple there. So that's where it is. I completely skipped over the part where Optimus shoots a waypoint out of the Matrix. It doesn't fucking matter. Who cares?
Yeah, Dinobot, like, gives him the Matrix and is like,
he does the
Simba, remember who you are.
He does the pose from the movie, and then he puts it back in his chest. Isn't that epic?
Don't get used to good poses. We got a lot of T-poses in the next episode, folks.
Episode 4. I hope everyone was, had a pretty good time with a fairly middling episode of television, because we are about to hit some real stupid garbage. Okay. So, the cold open, this is incredible. The cold open is the Maximals and Autobots standing around debating whose MacGuffin is more important. The Maximals are like, okay, well, the Allspark, is the Allspark that important? And RC's like, well, is the golden disc that important? And she's like, yeah, it is, but the Allspark's double important than that. So, like,
I mean, I will give it to the Maximals. They're like, well, in the future, there isn't an Allspark, and we're alive just fine.
It's like, we need the Allspark. It's like, well, we don't. So, like,
shut
maybe...
up, Rat Trap.
Yeah, Cheater Lawyers is quiet. We can't tell them about the future. Primal is chasing a ghost through the woods, and then we see Optimus arrive at the big Allspark temple, and oh my god, who steps out of it? That's Alita 1's music. She's here, but not. Oh
wow, you actually recognize character music?
No, I was just making a wrestling joke theme. This show, the wrestling theme joke. This show's soundtrack is functionally non-existent.
I was about to say, like, what? I was like, how are you paying that much attention to this?
No. Then we get an amazing scene, which is we cut over to exactly. So we cut over to Starscream and Black Arachne, and Starscream's like, "Oh man, we totally fucked up our coup. I'm just gonna go back and beg Megatron for forgiveness. He'll probably let me back in. He's cool like that."
He's done it before.
Black Arachne says, Jesus Christ, dude. Can you fucking grow a pair and kill him already? And Starscream goes, I never thought of that. This Starscream has gone from, like, he's weirdly competent and it doesn't fit, to we are at sub G1 levels of competence at this point.
Within an episode, right? Because when he throws Dinobot off, like, his fight with Dinobot is like, I'm not going to let anyone talk to me that way anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of shit. And like,
immediately.
And then this.
Next time we see him, he's like, shucks, my damn coup failed. I should just go and kiss Megatron's feet now. But as it turns out, Beast Megatron saw all of it. Oh no. Whatever will our... I was about to say heroes. They are definitely not that. Whatever will our dipshits do? Then Prime enters spiritual combat with the Allspark's like avatar, I guess, which turns into Ultra Magnus.
So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Why does it not know who Optimus is?
I don't know. I guess because it says the trip through the dead universe fucking gave it a concussion, just like the Ark. Because it looked at too much shit, so it's like maybe it just knows too much about like the Nemesis Prime stuff, which we haven't even gotten to yet. I know it's coming.
Two episodes left.
Yes!
Episodes left.
He's coming. By God, that's Nemesis Prime's music. But yeah, it just keeps calling him Nemesis, and he's like, "No, I'm Optimus. I literally have the. I don't know why he doesn't just like show it. It's like, hey, here it is. I have it. The Matrix. It's here. Can you let me in, please?" Meanwhile, Primal sees Dinobot's ghost, and he's like, I know what this is. This is another fucking bullshit Allspark illusion. Well, I'm not falling for it this time. You have to get up pretty early in the morning to trick this gorilla. And then Dinobot goes, actually, it's actually my ghost for real.
How? Don't ask.
I
hate this episode. I hate this episode.
This episode is completely insane. I feel like all of the things I've heard about the weird spiritualism stuff in Beast Machines, I feel like this episode distilled it all into a single drop. And it's just complete nonsense. It has no build up. It just happens. Because Dinobot's a ghost, and things are about to get really weird. But first, Megatron is also... I don't know why this is happening. Because we cut to Megatron, who's talking to the Allspark Magnus. But, like, I get... There's a lot of weird stable time loop shit going on, I think, with the Golden Disc, which is always annoying. Because, like, Megatron has to be there to do whatever happens at the end of this episode. So I guess the Allspark has to, like, summon him, but not really. Oh, God, this episode gives me a fucking headache.
It's I actually, like, basically stopped watching in the middle of it. I had it on, but, like, I was like, I'm gonna look up recipes for dinner. I'm not using my brain power on this.
Starscream is walking up, and Beast vs. Megatron's like, oh, Lord Megatron, watch out. But Megatron says, you fucking idiot, I already told myself from the future and the past using this record player. And then he shoots Starscream while he's invisible. He fucking like no scopes him in one shot and steals his cloaking device. Great.
And then like later on, when Starscream and Black Arachne are talking, Starscream's like, but he knew.
It's like, yeah, man, he has a fucking diary of himself from the future. You knew about this. And then Black Arachne steals Megatron's blood just in case they need to steal the Golden Disc in the future, because you can only Megatron's like energy signature can be used to access the Golden Disc. But then Megatron has just been hanging out while invisible, and he just kind of like throws them around before he leaves. He doesn't even
kill them.
He just like knocks them over.
Yeah.
And then leaves.
He tackles Black Arachne to the ground and then like pile drive Starscream.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Optimus finally gets through to the Allspark. And this is where we learn, and everyone has to imagine there's a lot of scare quotes around the word learn whenever I say it in regards to this episode's events, because we're going to get real vague, okay? The Allspark, so we all know from the franchise in the past, the Allspark is like the source of life on Cybertron. It gives the gift of life, right? We know about this. But also it's in a symbiotic relationship with Cybertron, and it needs the sparks or else it'll die. And if it dies, something bad happens to the multiverse.
I hate this episode. I truly can't express it enough. It's because I went into it again after episode 3, which was pretty good, all things being said, thinking, oh shit, there's only 3 episodes left of this. How is this going to wrap up? And it turns out the answer to that, and there's a very simple one. The answer to that is we're just going to throw so much spaghetti at the wall that we're going to pray that some of it sticks. But how will we know which ones? Doesn't matter. It'll stick. But there's so much spaghetti. You're right. You know, hey, listen.
You know how it is.
You know it is with spaghetti.
No, I don't. Yeah, so the Allspark went through the dead universe somehow to get to Earth, I guess, because it just went through that station. So it got, like, loaded up with forbidden knowledge, which I guess the dead universe contained somehow. And then it landed on Earth, but it's beautiful, but it's dying. So it needs the sparks. It says, I need the sparks to live. And Optimus says, duh, okay. And literally Megatron just sneaks in the door when it opens for Optimus, which is really funny because he's invisible. And this is kind of when we get to the big quote unquote fight scene here, because we have Megatron and Optimus with their final standoff, and we get some more incredible Megatron Optimus dialogue where Megatron goes, "Give me the Matrix, and I will claim the Allspark and use it to reshape Cybertron in my image." And Optimus says, "But I thought you were gonna save Cybertron." And I say, "You fucking idiot. What the hell are you talking about? His original plan was literally to use the Allspark to destroy Autobots, like make them into Decepticons. Are you stupid?"
This one?
Yes, he is
Mara.
very stupid. I am sorry. I forgot.
Stupid question for you to ask.
That's right. I fucking hate this Optimus so much. And then they fight. Meanwhile, Optimus Primal is like, "Let me in." At the outside of the temple, he's knocking on the door.
I will say, Primal's also pretty well voice acted.
Yes, he is. By the way, Dinobot's shade vanished at some point. But it's
don't worry about it. Yeah, so Primal is also another bright spot in this show, actually, because especially compared to Optimus, it's like, oh, this is what a confident leader sounds like. Okay, cool.
Yeah. We do get some fucking Christian Bale Batman voice Optimus in this scene. He's like, "Oh, you were supposed to save it." It's like, oh god, he's back. Kill him, Megatron, hurry up.
Can we go back to you being wrapped in ennui and Optimus being dead?
Oh yes. So outside the temple, we have Primal, Black Arachnia, and Starscream, who have latter two have shown up to do ? And then Beast Megatron attacks everybody, and then the Autobots show up. It's just all a big clusterfuck.
I have very little to contribute at this point because, again, I was not contributing brain power to consuming this.
Brain power was not expended to create this, so I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But we get Dinobot's spark possesses Primal briefly to let him no-clip through the wall, Danny Phantom style. And then leaves. So then we get the Primal jumps. Oh, there's a thing where I totally read during Optimus Megatron's big confrontation. He's like, "I know everything you're about to do. It all starts when you drop your gun." And then Optimus does drop his gun, but in anger, so he can just rush at Megatron and punch him. It's like, what the hell? I really want to hear what the golden disc narration is, because it must be so detailed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we get bits and pieces of it.
So
but...
then I said that I will take the Allspark and mold Cybertron in my image, and then Prime said something I couldn't understand because he did it in his action movie voice, and he was really annoying. And then I said, "But it will all kick off when you drop your gun." And then Prime says, "Why would I do that?" It's just that.
And I made chicken for dinner.
But Megatron gets mauled by a gorilla. It's so weird that okay, Optimus Primal has twin scimitars and shoulder cannons, and he had to fight Megatron.
I mean, all of them forget that they have weapons. Like, literally during the Soundwave and Dinobot fight, I was like, why aren't you using your big shoulder gun?
Yeah. The built-in weapons are just for show, I guess. They don't actually matter.
It's just greebling.
It's just extra greebling. So, this is when Optimus sees Elita 1 again, and it's like Allspark Elita 1, but also kind of... It's really ambiguous how much of it is the Allspark and how much of it is her being dead in the Allspark. Not clear. Doesn't matter. The point is, she tells Optimus, you have to surrender. You have to lose to win. You have to surrender to Megatron in order to, like, find the path forward. And you would think, oh, well, this is like a, you know, you have to see the darkest hour before you can light it. You have to, like, get to rock bottom before you can truly understand what you have to do. But actually, the Allspark is literally just pranking Megatron, is what's happening here.
Yeah.
Because Optimus gives him the Matrix, and he, like, snatches it up and, like, runs. He runs so fast up to the door. It's really funny. Megatron's like, yeah, give me that. And he runs through the door.
Yeah. You know that video of the lizard running on the racetrack?
So then he's like, then he goes to the door, and he's in, like, a big arena with the cheering Decepticons, and he's got the Matrix in the baby bundle, and he's like, I have won. And then all the Decepticons turn into zombies, and the Matrix turns red, and he falls through the floor, and I guess dies? Question mark? I don't know. Something happens to him. There is a line I like from him earlier that I forgot to, where it's like, we was talking about the golden disc, and he's like, I know what happens here. It's like, this is where you fucking, like, this is where I lost the war, but I will never do that because I'm built different. But then he loses the war, so I guess he wasn't built different after all. My internet is fluctuating in an extremely bizarre way. That's exciting.
Ooh. Now whose problems, clown?
My ping is stable, but my connection keeps going from yellow to red to green. Do I sound like a robot?
No, you sound fine.
Well, I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to worry about it. Just like the writers of the show didn't worry about anything making sense. So Primal and Optimus go through the door, and they're in a big hallway, and the Matrix floats down to them, and the Allspark says, okay, time to go home. And then all of the Predacon and Maximal Sparks from the Beast Wars swirl together and pour into the Allspark, and then it's back. And then I literally just wrote extremely vague things begin to happen. Like, there's a big burst of light, there's a giant black dome.
Here's what I will say. I have one positive note about this episode.
That's exciting.
Which is, and I'm not even sure this is on purpose, but I will grant them the benefit of doubt that it is. That there is the Allspark is animated kind of off frame in a way that is genuinely very otherworldly and distressing to see.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that was, because, like, I also noticed, like, the frame rate dipping at the end when everything was exploding. I was like, was that on purpose? Is that like that's my question, is because we see when it, like, jumps in Optimus's hands, it's already animating on the off frame. You know, it's always like, I don't like to say, it's always bad to say, like, well, they just fucked up. They did it on accident. Because, again, everything is made with some kind of intention. But I feel like in this situation, I really am unsure whether or not that was actually on purpose or not.
So am I, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, then I'll take the other flag, and I will say,
boo! No, you can't do that.
And I will say they fucked up and made it look bad on accident. No, they made it. It might have.
It looked good. Look good on accident. True. I think it looks good, regardless of what happens. I do think there is something, like, genuinely, in a way that I find, like, interesting, like, otherworldly and off-putting about the Allspark, and, like, inorganic. Yeah. Inorganic and unnatural.
It's spooky. It should be spooky.
Yeah. So I think it looks good, is what I will say.
By the way, earlier in the fight, Primal just grabs the golden disc out of Megatron's arm and tosses it away. That's important because the final shot of the episode, the most amazing visual in Transformers history, is...
Oh, you feel its impact. It's here. It finally happened. We're there, baby. Are you ready for the most impactful moment in Transformers history? It's more T-posing.
Cut to the golden disc lying on the ground. The temple has disappeared. There was like a big black explosion and a bunch of white light. And when it fades, floating, T-posing in front of the moon in what is clearly just like a JPEG layered on top of it. Like, it is not a 3D model. It is some kind of 2D image on top of the matte painting in the background. It's just Optimus Prime T-posing and floating in the air. And that's the end. Fuck this show.
Fuck this show.
It's not hard to make a Transformers show. You know? Like, you got guys that turn into cars, and guys that turn into planes, and guys that turn into various other machines and animals, and some of them can combine, and some of them can turn into like two different kinds of cars or planes, and they're fighting over some object, and there's fun to have along the way. I don't know what this is. It's complete fucking nonsense. This whole episode just like utter. It's all just, none of it is. When I say it's vague, I really do mean it's just like it all just washes over you. It's like, okay, I guess the Allspark.
Yeah, like that's what happened to me watching it, because it's like
the Allspark is like a
sure.
fucking it's in a symbiotic relationship, and it needs the sparks. And if it doesn't get the sparks, it dies, and that somehow destroys the multiverse. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Well, we have one more episode of this, so let's see. Maybe these last two episodes really just tie everything together in a
2 episodes technically.
in a beautiful knot. And that's true. We have the postseason summary, which is just going to be me slamming my head against my desk.
And I'm going to be so cranky next week because it's going to be Passover and I'm not going to have any carbs in me.
Oh God! So you're really going into the finale with the right mindset.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to whatever the fuck is going to happen next week, we have to answer a lot of questions. So how about you take us through those in the Discord?
Sure. Why not?
If any of these questions are what happened at the end of episode 4, we can't help you. I don't know.
Yeah. First up, from Optimus Prime's Allspark Bride.
Okay, well, you know.
Yeah. Is it ironic or appropriate that this Optimus Prime's smartest move was to surrender to Megatron in the Allspark Love Hotel?
Thank you, Sabrina, for giving us the title. It's appropriate that this was his. It is what everyone has been telling him to do, literally since day one. Literally since the first episode, everyone has been like, "Hey, this war's stupid. They're going to destroy us." And then he gets to have psychic sex with his all-powerful
maybe wife,
god wife, maybe half god wife,
or maybe just an illusion,
or
from
maybe
God.
just just like a reflection. But hey, look.
But work, yeah. Geist asks, so Soundwave just dead? Yes. Did Dinobot just completely drop Soundwave after taking out both Ravage and Laserbeak?
Okay, to be fair, this Ravage clearly needs to go on a diet. If you looked at him, he's a real chonker. He's got some, have you seen the gif of that cat in the, the fucking harness in the pool, and people have said it the Pacific Rim theme? That's what Ravage looks like to me in this show. He's so wide.
Yeah, he's like Fig.
He is like, this Ravage could not sneak anywhere. He would get stuck in between fence posts and have to get his sound was like, rumble, get the butter, Ravage is stuck again. Soundwave is dead as fuck.
Yeah. Dinobot Memorial, Raptussi Kingdom. Rip to a real one. But anyway, how incredibly funny would it be if the Golden MacGuffin polyhedron just exploded and killed them instead of whatever it did to the two Optimuses?
Yeah, hey, wait, where? I just realized.
Where'd Primal go?
Where did Primal go? Well,
Don't worry about it. I'm sure we'll. So we only get a very vague look at the silhouette. I wonder, what if they
They're
combined?
the same guy. They're like in the. Oh God.
Yeah.
It might be.
Worst for Cybertron, Chet asked, Cog check, what was your favorite scene of Medi shared between RC and Cog?
I liked it when Cog became big shoulder cannons for her, which is also the only interaction they've ever had. Like that happens a couple of times. But damn, that bond is just so strong.
That's a brother's bond.
That's right. It's like our C and sideswiping.
Is the Allspark Optimus's new wife? Yes.
And he did consummate the marriage.
Dead Name Stealing Faye asks, how would things change if you swapped War for Cybertron Megatron with the real Beast Wars Megatron and had a real Beast Wars Megatron deal with Empred?
We'd have a lot more fun because Beast Wars Megatron is a hoot and I love him. I mean...
And I don't know, Empred is really, most of the Predacons.
Yeah, he's kind of the only one because the other two are immediately trying to figure out ways to betray him, so they don't really count.
No, but I mean, he has the character of most of the Preds in.
Yeah, like dumb toadies for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where did Scorponok go?
Yeah, Exactly.
Where's Astro Train?
He's dead.
Oh wait,
he and the rest of his race are dead.
That's I remembered. He and Astro Train are stuck in that jail cell. They're having a deep conversation in there. They're learning a lot about each other. They're gonna fall in love and have trained scorpion babies.
Yeah. Who's your favorite gay spider? I do think it is Arachnid.
Yeah, I mean, look, I really love Beast Wars Black Arachnia. Definitely not a gay spider. This one's a weird throwaway line. Arachnid is a completely unhinged yandere lesbian stalker. So,
I mean, it's between her and IDW tarantulas. If we're talking about gay spiders specifically.
I do like IDW tarantulas a lot. However,
we do enjoy IDW tarantulas in this household. However, I do think it's gonna have to go to Arachnid.
We're really discriminating against single fathers right now.
Yeah, hasn't Prowl put him through enough?
The poor tarantulas.
Poor IDW tarantulas. Who would the series be better for Lord and Savior Padlock was there to die for all of our sins?
I think his death did something to this show. I feel like just like how Waspinator being absent and him being the fucking Sin Eater, the Omelas child is
You mean Cogs?
No, Padlock. I think Padlock's death somehow reverberated through time and made this show bad.
Who's stronger, Cogger? Oh, sorry. Chet asks, who's stronger, Cog or Padlock?
He kills two guys at the end of Earthrise.
Padlock did, truly, I think you guys are also forgetting, because of recency bias, just how bad Energon was.
It's really bad.
This is probably worse, I will grant you that, but, I think you guys are forgetting how bad Energon was.
Really bad.
Yeah. Did you know that if a ghost possesses you, you can walk through walls?
Danny Phantom taught me that.
Yeah.
You can walk through walls, disappear, and fly. He's much more unique than the other guys.
To be fair, that wasn't a ghost possessing him. That was him half dead.
That was his fucked up ghost DNA.
Geist asks, how wild is it that it took the Allspark possessing the ghost of his ex-wife for Optimus to finally apologize for something?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, well, it is shocking that he apologized to Alita.
Hey, that's not true. Remember, he apologizes to Megatron, and it makes him, you have to forgive me! You have to forgive me!
Oh, fuck it, I hate this fucking guy so much. fucking just kill yourself, or for Cybertron Optimus Prime. Oh my god.
The like text message meme. Fucking kill yourself. Fucking kill yourself. You owe me $50. Fucking kill
If
yourself.
someone can make that for us and post it in the Discord, I would be very pleased.
Oh man. Ninja Consultant of Cybertron asks, if you could remove a character from the show, who would it be? Optimus.
Prime. He dies in the first episode, and the rest of the show is about Alita.
What would happen to the bad plot? It would go away because the Allspark would still be on
no one
Cybertron.
would get the fucking big brain idea, like, what if we chucked the Allspark into space?
Oh, Christ. Optimus Prime's Allspark bride asks, where are the cyber zombies guarding the Allspark this time?
Only in Megatron's head, apparently.
Yeah, they're not real.
But
they
were real on Cybertron.
I know.
But they're not real this time, presumably because there were no bodies to resurrect.
Yeah. Veer asks, would the show be better if there were Transformers that could transform into zombies instead of vehicles,
what would that
animals,
even
tools?
look like?
I
Like,
don't...
just turn into like a wait, a Transformer whose alternate mode is a human skeleton.
Yeah. No, they transform and it's just like parts of their body peels away to reveal the like protoform underneath.
Get real slimy.
Yeah. Gross. Decepticon Ruby asks, hey, happy Passover, Audrey. You can skip this question if you want since it's not pertaining to current episode, but what is your interpretation of the Plague of Frog? Is it a million billion frogs or just one giant maximal frog named Diver? So, do you know about this, Mara?
About Diver or the Plague of Frog? I did know about Diver. Tell me about the Plague of Frog.
Okay, so the Torahs, all Torahs to this very day, right, are completely handwritten on animal parchment, right? Like, that is how it's done. It's a huge scroll, and it's done by hand, and it is copied. You have to train years and years and years to make a Torah because you have to copy every letter precisely as it is. So you can't like have your own handwriting, basically. You have to be able to precisely copy every letter as they exist. Now, part of this is because they are handwritten documents. Thousands of years ago, when it was first being made, there were probably some typos that didn't get caught. And one of the typos is that when going through the plagues in Exodus, frogs is actually frog. It's the singular word for frog. Svardea, as opposed to Svardaim. So there is legitimate debate in the Jewish rabbinic community in the Talmud, going back thousands of years, about whether or not it was a plague of frogs, which it almost certainly was meant to be.
Kaiju frog.
Yes, or one kaiju frog.
Wow, that is incredible. I mean, look, I know which one I would favor. Because
yes, I mean, realistically, the interpretation is plague of frogs,
just left off
and all of this.
Plural.
All of this was like a series of like natural phenomena that like built onto each other. Like, there's clear fossil record about that. However, the idea of kaiju frog is very funny.
You know, there's all sorts of things hidden in the midst of the past. What if there used to be a really big frog? Damn.
Sabrina asks, should Optimus Prime get a divorce?
I think that's been decided for him due to the fact that his wife blew up. Does he have to get
Well, no, he's a widower.
That's true, but now he has to get divorced from
his ghost wife.
No, his ghost wife should divorce him.
You know the song "Little Piece of Heaven"?
Not familiar.
Oh, it's an Avenged Sevenfold song.
Oh yeah.
You should listen to "Little Piece of Heaven." You'll understand what I'm getting at here, folks. If you know "Little Piece of Heaven," you know what I'm getting at here. What are some Cybertronian holidays that you know of? I'm gonna skip this one.
Obviously, I don't think there are any.
Yeah.
There's that one time in the IDW comics, the Christmas special,
The
where they
Christmas,
go-
the Starscream Christmas
Well, there's
special.
that one, and there's also the Lost Light based one where they go through a nebula that like
Oh, yeah.
forces them to act out like Earth Christmas, which is pretty funny. But yeah, there's not any Cybertronian holidays. They're too busy killing each other for that.
Yeah. And finally, from Sabrina, thinking about the series and what it was supposed to be, a love letter to G1 through Beasties, I feel as though there are some characters that should have been in the show, regardless of quality in each chapter. In Siege, where are the Dinobots? In Earthrise, where is Rodimus? And in Kingdom, where are the Blowjob Brothers? With the idea that this is supposed to be a love letter, what actual characters from Season 1 to Season 3, and Beast Wars do you feel should have been included in this show? In short version, in a better world where this was actually good, what characters would have been in it that are not already there?
To me, the obvious standout Predacon who's not in this show is Rampage. I love Rampage, but I mean, if we're taking the idealized good show route, I would have liked to see Rampage and Depth Charge. It is weird. There's like Ultra Magnus, but there's just no Rodimus. There's no anybody else. There's also RC. It's like they have half of the movie cast, and then the other half are nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's weird because like trying to think of that is like, well, the show would need to be longer, mostly in order to be better, and have to be like structurally different. But I think my main answer really is just like it should have had Rampage, Depth Charge, and Silverbolt in it. It's really.
It did have Silverbolt.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the weird. Like,
go back and watch it. I'm pretty sure there are, because I was like, oh, Wolf, Green Eyes, and then it got a little closer, and I was like, no fucking way.
yeah, weird Silverbolt cameo. It is the Dinobots, and the fact that there's no Dinobots, and the fact that there's no Constructicons
I would
is
say,
really weird.
Yeah, the Dinobots are the weirdest ones for me, probably.
Like,
Um,
those are some big. Like, you have fucking Red Alert in here. You have like Cog. You have Cog in here.
you have Red Alert. You have Red Alert, but you don't have Inferno.
Yeah, you have Sideswipe, but you have Sunstreaker. You're like missing it.
Yeah, you do. He's right there.
That's right.
Just
there
look.
he is.
He's right there.
I'm waving at him right now. Hi, Sunstreaker. Sir, not appearing in this show, Sunstreaker. Yeah, there's just like a bunch of. The cast for this show is so bizarre that it's like it's really hard. Wait, I just remembered something. Holy shit! I just remembered something. I guess
Yeah.
the Quintesson blew up. I was like, where did he go? I guess he blew up.
Oh yeah.
I forgot he blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, he blew up.
Scorponok with no pterosaur, which I assume is what Sabrina is talking about with the Blowjob Brothers. But there are like, there's so many Blowjob Brothers in Beast Wars. They keep cycling through them. I think in season 2, the Blowjob Brothers are Quick Strike and Inferno. But yeah, no G1 Inferno with Red Alert. There is weird. No Springer, no Rodimus. There's just a lot of weird holes. But
Yeah.
the real answer is
No Power Glide.
Oh fuck!
Fan favorite Power Glide.
Yeah, he should have fallen in love with a human woman just inexplicably.
Maybe wait. Maybe if I separate their names, I can redeem some of this. No Skyfire.
Oh god.
Different character. Maybe that's what it
Yeah.
is. Maybe this whole time it hasn't actually been Skyfire. It's been
There we
Jetfire. That's how they get you.
Yeah. That was my twin. That was my shitty twin brother, Jetfire. I'm actually Skyfire.
Boosh, Skyfire Flagrante.
That's right. Yeah,
That was my alter ego, Skyfire
the
Flagrante.
Constructicons are the weirdest. Like, yeah, you have Spinister and Barricade in this show as like your sort of non-seeker Decepticon goons. Like, what are we doing here? What's going on here? No Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, like, in general, the Decepticon makeup is very odd, right? Like, you have, like, bits and pieces of some of the Gestalts, but you don't have any of the whole ones.
No fucking Rumble? No Frenzy?
The Seekers are, like, completely nondescript. You have Reflector. Reflector's here.
There's lots of them. There's so many of them here.
Yeah. Infinite Reflectors.
Just like the early days of G1. because there were so few Decepticon toys compared to how many Autobot toys there were, so they just had to like copy paste Reflector a bunch of times. But sadly, that the show is not good and the show is quite bad. Happily, the podcast is now over. We have been Prime Cuts. The episode, not the whole thing. We're still doing the podcast.
Baruch Hashem.
We've been Prime Cuts. You can find us on Blue Sky at primecutspod.biscuit.social. The Twitter has been abandoned. The Twitter has been abandoned, just like Alita 1's charred body on Cybertron.
It's not charred, it's just desiccated. She just starved.
So you envision a worse death for her. She didn't die in the explosion, but everyone else did.
Oh, that's right. They all blew up. I forgot they all blew up.
Boom, boom. All of them.
And she was right in the center of that. There's no way she survived that shit. She's super dead.
It's so incredible. They just blow up the entire Cybertron cast. All of them.
I legitimately forgot that.
Shockwave gets blown up. Grovia gets blown up. Jetfire gets blown up.
Even though he could have flown away.
I'm Mara. You can find me on Blue Sky at MaraIvan.biscuit.social and on Tumblr at Cyclones to the 5 on the end of it. I don't know why it said it like that. I'm slightly losing my mind because of Kingdom, I think. It's just
because of how good this show
I'm
is.
Just blown away by the quality of it all.
I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Optimum on Prime. That's my funny robot internet joke. You can listen to the other podcast I do called Pot of Greed, which is about Yu-Gi-Oh! You can stay tuned for updates about the disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, which is an audio drama I'm in that is actively in production as we speak. And sometimes I do Star Trek themed drag, which you can find at Maxwell Warp on Instagram.
And of course, we are part of the Noise Space podcast network, noisespace.xyz. Check it out for a large variety of wonderful shows about literally a never-ending amount of topics. Don't check the math on that. Just trust me. Well, listeners, until next time when we close the book on this I guess, we closed the book on watching.
Yeah. Don't get ahead of yourself here. You're only leaving yourself open for disappointment.
We finished watching the bad show. I am going to T-pose aggressively at you, transform and roll out.
Oh, Christ. What am I even going to do? Who cares?
Wow, what a great impression of the writers of the show.
I'm gonna les out with Black Arachnia. Transform and roll out.
Peach.